We all go through disappointments and things that don't make sense. A friend walked out on you, or you were overlooked for a promotion. You came down with an illness. I talked to a young lady that grew up in a home filled with abuse. Nobody was there to guide her. The people that should have been helping her were doing just the opposite. She didn't understand why she was raised in such hurt and dysfunction. And it's easy to let what's unfair be an excuse to not pursue our destiny. I can't be successful. I had a rough childhood. I'll never be happy. I lost a loved one. Can't accomplish my dream, Joel. The pandemic slowed me down. This company let me go. I didn't get the scholarship. Here's the key. It's not your fault that you got knocked down, but it is your responsibility to get back up. That was wrong that they hurt you. That wasn't fair that you went through the injustice. That wasn't right that they walked away. I'm not lessening what you've been through. I'm not excusing their behavior, but I am telling you, you have to get back up. Your move when unfair things happen is to go forward in faith, trusting that God will make it up to you. Because it's tempting to stay down, live bitter, give up on your dreams. After all, you have a good excuse. You may have a reason, but you don't have a right. God still has a great purpose in front of you. He saw what happened. He saw what they did, who left you out, what you lost. He said He would pay you back double for the unfair things. He said He has beauty for those ashes. There's something you have to do, though. Can't sit around in defeat, nursing your wounds. Why did this happen to me? Don't put a question mark where God has put a period. Part of faith is trusting when life doesn't make sense. We're never going to understand everything that happens. You can't let one betrayal, one divorce, one bad season sour the rest of your life. I know it wasn't fair. I know it was painful. It wasn't your fault. But you can't stop there. You have a responsibility to get back up. That means quit reliving the hurts. Quit thinking about what they did. Quit believing the lies that you've seen your best days. God knows how to make it up to you. When He sees you moving forward, when you could be sitting in defeat, you're praising when you could be complaining, you have a smile when you could be depressed, you're being good to someone even though you've been through hurts, you better get ready. God is going to show out in your life. You will see greater favor because of the unfair things. The enemy meant it for harm. God is going to turn it to your advantage. A man told me recently about how his business partner didn't keep his word and left him with all this debt. Now his business is struggling to make it. He was so down. He said, Joel, this man has ruined my credit. He's damaged my reputation. He took my main clients. He's basically ruined my life. It's okay to feel hurt, to feel wrong, to feel violated. God made us with feelings. I'm not saying you have to be Superman, never feel anything. But if you're going to see the beauty for the ashes, if you're going to see God pay you back for the wrongs, at some point you have to rule over those feelings. Get your passion back and start moving forward. If you use it as an excuse, it will keep you from your purpose. But on the other side of the excuse is a new level of your destiny. If that person that did you wrong could in fact ruin your life, they would be more powerful than God. That's not possible. The bad break, the injustice, the loss did not stop God's plan for your life. It wasn't your fault that you got knocked down, but it is your responsibility to get back up. The way you move forward in faith is knowing that God is working all things for your good. May not have been good. It was unfair. It was hurtful. But God knows how to turn it for your good. He's not going to leave your life in a broken place, in a damaged place, in an unjust place. That may be the reason you are where you are. That's your explanation, but don't make it your excuse. Have a new perspective. Yes, I had some bad breaks. That's why my business is down, but this is not how my story ends. I went through a loss. It was painful, but I know weeping endures for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. I had a lot of dysfunction growing up. Didn't get off to a good start, but I know my latter days will be better than my former days. Nothing that's happened to you is a surprise to God. He wouldn't have allowed it if it was going to stop your purpose. You may have gone through loss, things that are not fair, but what you need to fulfill your purpose is not in what you've lost, it's in what you have left. Take the hand you've been dealt and make the most of it. 1 Samuel chapter 30, David and his men were living in the city of Ziklag. They'd been on a mission for several days. When they were returning home, they noticed smoke billowing in the air from the direction of Ziklag. They picked up the pace, worried that something was wrong. As they got closer, their worst fears came true. Amalekite bandits had come in and raided the city. They kidnapped all their wives and children, stole all their possessions, and burned down their houses. It was the worst defeat that David had ever suffered. Here he was out doing the right thing, protecting God's people, and his whole world fell apart. The scripture says he and his men wept until they could not weep anymore. If that wasn't bad enough, David's men were so upset, they started blaming David. They talked about stoning him. It wasn't fair that David was doing the right thing, but the wrong thing happened. It wasn't fair that his possessions were stolen, his family was taken, his men were turning on him. But God doesn't promise us that life will always be fair. He doesn't say if you do the right thing, the wrong thing will never happen. Life happens to us all. It's what we do in these unfair times that determine whether we get stuck and let it sour the rest of our lives, or whether we move forward and see God make it up to us. David was at a critical point. He could have been bitter. God, I don't understand it. How could you let this happen? If he would have stayed in a defeated mindset, this would be the last we hear of David. He understood this principle. It wasn't his fault that he got knocked down. He had no control over that, but it was his responsibility to get back up. He knew if he stayed in the ashes, reliving his defeat, feeling sorry for himself, it would keep him from his destiny. And yes, he had a good explanation for why he was down. Nobody would have disagreed if he'd have given up on his dreams, faded off into the sunset. But he didn't let his explanation become his excuse. I would have been a great king, but man, we got attacked at Ziklag. I would have left my mark, but these people did me wrong. I would have been a hero of faith, but these unfair things happened to me. No, on the other side of that excuse is expansion. There's a new level of your destiny. Are you going to stick with the excuse, or are you going to see the expansion? It depends on if you take responsibility and get back up when you get knocked down. Now, I know it wasn't fair. I know they did you wrong. You don't understand it. Leave that all in God's hands. Just do your part, get your passion back, get your faith back. get your dreams back. This is what made David a champion. Not that he didn't have injustice, not that he never had bad breaks, things that weren't fair, people that did him wrong. He knew how to get back up. He dried his tears. He shook off the defeated mindset, told his men, get up, we're going to go attack the enemy. He didn't stay on the defensive, thinking that he's seen his best days. His attitude was, I have a destiny to fulfill. This bad break didn't stop my purpose. I know that God will make it up to me. And that's how you move forward when it's unfair. Not looking to people, not hoping your boss will feel sorry for you, not counting on your friend to make it up to you. Look up to your Creator. Look up to the Most High. He's the one that has beauty for the ashes. He's the one that can bring you out better than you were before.